Everybody, Maria here. I'm so excited because I'm going to be talking to you about how to go from 6 to 7 figures. This is going to be an on-demand training, and it's a crash course on the systems that I built in order to go from a 6-figure business owner to a 7-figure business owner. I'm super excited. Let's get right into it. So, going from 6 to 7 figures, what do we need to do? If you're probably at the level that most people are, right? You've created some amazing success in your business. You're seeing some wins. You're making decent money, but maybe you feel like you're missing something. Maybe you feel like there's something more. And the reality is there is something more. You're right. And what I want you to know is that what got you here, a 6-figure business, is not going to get you there. That's the biggest thing that most people don't understand about running, trying to go from a 6-figure business to a 7-figure business is what got you here, what you did to get to 6 figures will not get you to 7 figures. And if you ask anybody who has hit 7 figures, right, I have a lot of 7 and 8-figure entrepreneur friends, they will all tell you, myself included, that we relied on our masterminds and our mentors to get us there because you don't know what you don't know. And so as you can imagine, when I was making 6 figures in my business, I had really conflicting internal feelings about my plateau. Maybe you can relate, right? I had feelings, I knew I had plateaued and I had conflicting feelings about it. So on the one hand, I was really excited about the progress that I had made. I was making really good money. I was really pumped about the progress I was making. But on the other hand, I felt like I was probably working too hard for too little money. I was working harder, not smarter. And frankly, deep down, the truth was I absolutely knew that I could be making a lot more money. And I suspected, as I said, I was working hard, not smart. And so I took a leap of faith. I invested in a mastermind. I learned how to scale to 7-figure business, and I freaking did it. In 2020, my business pulled over 1.2 million, and we're on track to do 3 million this year. And so what I want to do in this little crash course is I want to change the way you think, and I want to change the way you strategize. So I want to do 2 things. We're going to change how you think about things, and we're going to change how you strategize. And so really the question then becomes, what needs to change if you want to hit that $1 million mark in your business? What needs to change? Right? That's the part that you don't know. You don't know what needs to be shifted or adjusted if you want to hit that mark in your business. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to share the 4 major things that need to change, right? There's 4 immediate changes that need to happen right off the bat if you're serious about going from 6 to 7 figures. First thing that needs to change is you. So much of our success is about who we are. And it has everything to do with how much we permit ourselves to have. How much success are you permitting yourself to have right now? So we got to change you. Second thing we've got to change are your systems. We're going to talk more about this later. We're drilling deep into systems here. But what I want you to know is that your 6-figure systems aren't helping you. And in fact, they're actively keeping you from hitting that $1 million run rate. So we're going to talk more about systems because they're really important. We also need to talk about your team. When I was first starting my business, I thought that a big team was good. Over the years, I've learned that a small team is better because what I did was I made the mistake of throwing people at a problem. And frankly, it cost me. And then finally, we need to change your audience, right? We need to change, frankly, the size of your audience. You're going to need more people in your world. You need new people coming to you every single day into your world, excited to buy. You're also going to need to start building your email list, right? I want you to imagine what would happen if you 100x'd the size of your audience. And let me tell you, with the size of my email list, we sent 4 emails and we pulled in over 6 figures in cash from just 4 emails. We didn't post to social media 24/7. We didn't do any of that. We just focused on building our email list and we made over $100,000 from 4 emails. So you need to change, your systems need to change, your team needs to change, and your audience needs to change. What we're going to do now, though, is I want to drill into the systems side of things, the systems that we've built so we're making a lot of money without working really hard for it. And so we're going to dial in, we're going to drill down, and we're going to talk about systems. And if you want to scale to 7 figures fast, you're going to need the following systems. Number 1, you're going to need a system to generate a massive amount of leads on autopilot. right? We have leads coming to us every single day on autopilot without me doing anything for it because of systems we've built to generate those leads. It's not an accident. It's very intentional. And so I want you to think about your audience here for a second. I want you to think about the people in your world. If you 10x or 100x the amount of people who followed you, what do you think that would do for your business? If you 100x the amount of people coming into your world, how much more money do you think you would make? Second thing that we need is a system to close sales that doesn't involve you selling one-to-one. So if you're like most six-figure entrepreneurs, you're currently doing sales a really painstakingly slow way. We want to change that. A lot of business owners have fears around that, like, oh, nobody can sell as well as I can. But let me tell you, you will notice an immediate and often dramatic spike in your income the minute you get yourselves out of the sales process. Third, you need a system to get your team doing all, or at least nearly all, of your work for you. I want to tell you about an experiment that we did with my team. We were curious a couple months ago to know how much Maria-only work is there. Like, how much work is there that only Maria can do? So we did this experiment, and we found out that we did over $100,000 that month, and my deliverables were just 4 hours per month. Right? So the work that I have to do to run the business is 4 hours per month. Now, I work about 35 hours per week because I want to make more money than $100,000 per month. But I just want you to understand that at the end of the day, it feels really good in the back of my mind to know that if I ever wanted to like sip, pineapple Mai Tais in Hawaii for a month, we have $100,000 that would come in because of the systems that we've built in my business. That's a business that feels juicy and abundant. Fourth and finally, you need a system to scale your ads profitably, okay? So you don't need to run ads to have a seven-figure business. I did 7 figures organically up until a point, but let me tell you, right? Organic marketing is a hustle. It's a grind. You're posting to social media 24/7. It's just all very manual. And so if you want to do ads, you need to learn how to scale them profitably. And what we've been able to do in our business is we literally get our ads to pay for themselves. Our leads pay us to market to them. And so if you can build a system like that in your business where your ads are liquidated, it's all profit. If you can build that system, you can quite literally scale to the moon. Now, I don't believe in magic. I don't think that there's a magical unicorn that walks in and just gives us everything. But I have to say this system to get our leads to pay for their ads, to pay for us to market to them is the closest thing to magic that I've seen. It really does. It still blows my mind. It feels like an ATM, right? I put $1 in, I get $5 out. That's about as close as you can get to actual money on demand, passive income magic. So all of these systems, you're probably wondering, does this actually work? And what I wanted to do is I wanted to share what my students say about it. So this is my student, Lori, and Lori is in my 100K mastermind. And she shared that she hit her first 100K month by implementing what I taught her. Same thing with my student, Sarah. She's hitting consistent 135K months last time I checked in with her. And then my student, Kat, she added 80K to her launch just by implementing one of my higher level training. So on the left here, you can see, she says, I forgot to say your training was the only thing I changed in my business last launch. And I ended up bringing in an additional $80,000 from my new group program. Thanks, babe. You're the real one. And then later on, she introduces me to Rachel Peterson, which was also amazing. So it works. And obviously this is a crash course, right? And this crash course just scratches the surface of your journey to become a 7-figure entrepreneur. Talking about all these systems is just the beginning, right? So you don't know, like, how do millionaires leverage time differently? There's this whole concept around time that we could be talking about. How do we invest differently? And why, because of the way we invest, why is that the reason we usually see a 10 to 30x return on all mentorship investments? I always make at least 10 times back, if not 30. Usually it's closer to 30 because of the way we invest. It's different how we invest. Finally, how do we change ourselves? How do we change themselves to become 7-figure business owners? Like we said at the very beginning, so much of that journey from becoming a 7-figure entrepreneur from a 6-figure entrepreneur is the inner stuff. What does that look like? And so this little training here was just the tip of a very large iceberg, right? I have a little red arrow there. It's the tip of a very large iceberg. And so the question becomes, Do you want some help with this? Do you want my help? Do you want me to give you all those systems? If that's the case, you should apply to join the 100K Mastermind experience. The 100K Mastermind does two things. It's going to double your income in 1 year, and it's going to get you to 100K months in 3 years. This is our guarantee. And you saw those student testimonials from earlier. Sometimes you hit it faster than 3 years. All those systems that we just talked about, we're going to give you all of it. I'm also going to be personally mentoring you. That's why we keep it really small. It's because I personally mentor you. And right now we're looking for 5 women who want to go from 6 to 7 figures. You have to be serious about it. You're seriously ready to go from 6 to 7 figures. You're ready for that transformation. If that's you, you should apply to get one of these 5 spots. Now, it might not be a good fit, so please be sure to read through the application process very carefully. We turn away most applicants, so read through all the details, make sure you really understand it because it might not be a good fit for you. So just click the link or the button below to get all the details and see if it's a good fit. Thank you for joining me today. I'll see you on the internet.